Bronny James made his debut in Summer League today. I had to give him credit. He did match his college numbers today. 4 points on terrible shooting. He had one steal, 2 assists, but he was able to match his 4 point average. So he was as good as he was in college, which isn't saying much at all, if we're being honest here. But when I watched this game, he he just looked out of place. I can say that honestly. There were some moments where he looked decent. He had a steal. He had this one good drive to the hole. There was this other play, I think towards the end of the game, where he drove towards the hole and he got swatted, which was pretty funny. It shows that he doesn't really have his dad's hops or his dad's quick first step, to be honest. But the biggest takeaway I got from this game, at least, was that this kid is not NBA material. Not right now. But I think it's important for everyone to realize is that he's going to get like a million passes to be terrible, to be garbage, to suck, simply because he's LeBron James's son. It's like any other Nepo baby, which is that you've seen this in the corporate world, that they can be complete fuck ups, screw up a bunch of times, and they're going to get given a ton of passes to redeem themselves. This will be the same with Bronny. The hope is, by LeBron's camp, from what I got today when LeBron was talking about Bronny, that basically he was saying it doesn't matter what he puts up in Summer League or the G League or whatnot. This is all about development. And that the hope is that over time he's going to develop to be a good contributor for the Lakers. That's pretty much the game plan, and that's going to be what the media is going to gaslight people for the next few years. As long as LeBron is playing, Bronny by default will be relevant too. They're going to make the argument when he's bad in Summer League or he's bad this upcoming season in the NBA games he does play, like, well, he's going to get better. He just has to work on it, and within a few years he'll be blah, blah. He'll be a very solid player. They're going to play that excuse card for all of Bronny's tenure with the Lakers, especially as long as LeBron's there. That's going to be the game that they're going to play. So don't expect the media to be honest about this kid. They're too scared to tell the truth, which is he's a scrub. He is a straight up scrub. That gaslighting of saying, like, well, if he gets developed in a few years and he gets the proper training, he's definitely going to be a good NBA player. You could say that about a lot of guys. You could say that about a lot of guys who were not drafted, who are now in the Summer League trying out for these teams, that if they had proper training for the next 3 or 4 years, that they would be good enough to be in the NBA. Problem is these guys are not going to get that chance. They're going to have to go to either the G League, Europe, or some other league outside of Europe, whether it's Australia, China, Japan, South America, whatever, to prove themselves. They're going to have to work hard to get the opportunity to prove themselves that they're worthy of playing in the NBA. For a lot of these guys, they won't even get that opportunity, even if they might be good enough. It's really a crapshoot when you're overseas. You kind of, for the most part, if you're a player, just try to make it over there and hope maybe you might get a look in by the NBA. But Bronny was able to bypass all this. He doesn't even have to work hard for his opportunity, which again is nepotism. And I have to be honest, I hate nepotism everywhere. I hate it everywhere, just that it is in society. I hate it in the corporate world. I hate it when you see it in Hollywood. I've never been a fan of it. It's very unfair. And sports was one of those few places, at least when it came to players who made it, where you actually believe there's meritocracy, that they deserve to be there, even the 12th man on an NBA team. I know some people will argue like, well, Giannis is brother to Narcissism. He doesn't deserve to be there. And I would say, yes, he does not deserve to be there. Absolutely. He doesn't at all. But that doesn't make it right to do the same with Bronny. You're trying to justify a shitty thing. Just it's awful all around, I have to say. That there's just no way to justify the Nazis should be out of the league, and so should Bronny. It's downright disgraceful, but it also shows to me the NBA is really starting to become like a cartoony league. It's about more so entertainment, WWE type of stuff, more so than the actual game. That to me is the biggest illustration of it, to be truthful. I'm just trying to think of what else I want to say. Something just slipped my mind, but it's kind of like the moment where I feel the NBA has really jumped the shark in how serious you can take it. And no, I'm not going to be invested in watching this kid for the next 4 or 5 years and critiquing every bad game he says, because I know this is part of the playbook for him, that even when you're truthful about this kid, it benefits LeBron because LeBron's a narcissist. And what I always say about narcissists, they benefit from even negative attention because the goal is always to get attention, which empowers them because it's about just getting your name out there. It's like the old saying goes, even bad publicity is good publicity. So for LeBron, he's just benefiting all around from this. That's the way I look at it. But I would tell anybody, just I wish there was a way to handle this type of situation, this playbook by LeBron, but I would stress, don't pay him that much attention if you can. I know there are a lot of people who will continue to make videos about Bronny in upcoming years saying this guy's garbage, but the smartest thing would be if everybody as a whole would just ignore it. If they could, that strips LeBron away of his strips away a lot of LeBron's power, which is attention seeking. That's usually the case with a narcissist. That's what I would stress, is like, don't pay any mind. The Lakers are not a team worth following. They don't have title aspirations. They're just a clown show. Granted, that's easier said than done since the media always pushes them in our faces 24/7, and that's why we're talking about it. But the best thing would be to pay it no mind. And the other thing I want to say is, people are like, why are you talking about this? Why are you talking about Bronny if you just hate Bronny? I actually don't hate him, and I don't even hate LeBron, to be honest. I just don't respect LeBron as a narcissist. So I'm just calling it for what it is. But the reason why we talk about it, other people talk about it, because it's thrown in our face all the time. The media will not shut up about it, and hence it makes the rounds, as they would say. That's the reason why we talk about it. Now, if LeBron wasn't pushing it, if he wasn't out there about it, then we wouldn't talk about it. That's the way I look at it. So that's all I have to say about this, to be honest.